Hi, welcome to class. My name is Shelly. I'm the founder of Hot House Yoga in Ormond Beach, Florida. And today I want to do a little tutorial on myofascial release work. So the props that you'll need be one block and 2 tennis balls. So once you have those, let's go ahead and take a comfortable seat and get connected to each other. One of the things I really enjoy doing when I close my eyes and draw my attention inward is to become aware of the subtleties of my own physical body. Sometimes it feels cool, sometimes it feels warm. But when I start to withdraw my senses and get connected there, I can get connected to you and to everything else around me. So let's just take a few minutes to make that happen. And when you're ready, we'll meet in tabletop position. Now, as you come into tabletop, the first thing we're going to work on today is using the block. And the idea is we're going to work on doing some myofascial release on our core and the digestive system. So the way you want the block to look is much like this versus it being lower or way too high. So let's find a happy medium. We'll use the grande version, as I've talked about in previous videos. And you're going to place it right where your belly button is. Not too high, because you don't want to be on the rib cage, and not too low on the hip flexors. So as you bring it forward and you start to lower yourself all the way down, just find that connection. You'll first start with the belly button, then you'll drop your forearms down, and then work on creating that sensation. Now, this is the first time you've ever done it. It's kind of intense. So, but as you roll from side to side, it'll begin to soften. Try not to hold your breath. That's like the key here. We'll just take a nice big breath in and we'll sort of relax into it. And that means everything, like your fingertips, your toes, your jaw, your head. And if you have the ability to, you could always do 2 fists and then place your forehead on it to make some space. And we're just going to hold this for a couple of breaths. And on the next breath, roll from side to side. Maybe you hold a little bit longer on the left. And then you roll a little bit closer towards the right. Just rocking yourself from side to side. And you can use the soft knees to help make that action happen. And you can use your gaze to make that action happen as well as you just go from side to side. And then from here, as we come back to center, place your left hand on the mat and the right hand, and push yourself back up into tabletop position. You can go ahead and remove the block for now. We'll come back to it. And here you're going to use 2 tennis balls. Now, the way the tennis balls work is they go behind the calf. So you'll start by placing it behind the right knee, and then you'll place it behind the left knee. Now, as we do this, you're also going to start to sit back. So be gentle as you do this. If it's the first time you've ever done it, it can be a little startling by all means. And we'll take a big inhale. Now, you can always rest your forearms down to the ground. That is an option while you're taking the stretch. If it feels more suitable, then you can bring your hands in really close to your knees. That changes the experience as well. And then I've seen this as well in class, where the students will take the block and they'll place their forehead on it so they don't have to carry that extra weight. So we're going to do that for a few breaths. One more breath here. Maybe you can soften a little bit further. Go a little bit deeper towards the heels of your feet. And we'll release. Coming back into tabletop position, you can go ahead and release those tennis balls. From here, we're going to come forward onto our belly. Now, as you come forward onto the belly, you're going to need one tennis ball. It's going to go right under your heart. So there is the physical heart, obviously, and then there is the spiritual heart. And the spiritual heart sort of resonates right around where the collarbone is. And they often use this in Chinese medicine. So as you come down onto your belly, you'll place the tennis ball right there. Ladies, it does not go in your cleavage, by the way. And as you lie forward, you want to feel the pressure of the tennis ball on your collarbone. And then you can take your two fists and place the top of your head on it so that you can sort of marinate and soften into that stretch. It is not uncommon at all for it to bring up some kind of an emotion. And if that happens, just let it be. One more breath here. One more time, we'll push ourselves back into tabletop position. We're going to grab two tennis balls so we can work our hamstring attachments. So where are they? Well, it's not the glute. So imagine it's the fleshy part just below the glute. So the attachment point, often misunderstood, can be very tender. So as you're working on creating that connection, you'll know when you find it because it literally speaks to you. Now, the more forward you go, the more intense it can become. So let's be really gentle with ourselves as we move forward. Keeping a gentle bend in the knees can be helpful as well. And then as you start to find that fleshy part, you can just rock yourself from side to side, allowing it to sort of get integrated into the experience. And I'm going to encourage you to let your legs soften. Let your head soften. Let your body soften. In 15 seconds, it's going to be a game changer, right? Because the body's already created some new muscle memory. Let's go a little bit deeper. Maybe that arm you've been using to brace yourself can soften a little bit. A little bit more. And let's release. From here, you're going to come back and extend your legs out. We're going to release the tennis balls. And you have one block. And you're going to need this for the back of your neck. So in the back of the neck, there is an occipital ridge. This is where like a tension point could be, especially if you have a tendency to have TMJ. So as you go back, you want to use the edge of the block to sort of apply it to the crook of the neck. So as we roll back and we find the crook of the neck, you can always use the hands to sort of support it until you get the stretch. Oh, that feels so good. Now, if you want to layer on, you can also do Supta Baddha Konasana, where the balls of your feet will come together and your knees will fall open. We'll just bring our arms out to our side and sort of soften. One more breath here. And we'll bring the legs back in. And we'll release the block from underneath the head. And we'll just extend our legs out to our sides. And our feet will fall open and our arms will come out. And we'll just sort of integrate the experience. And we'll roll over onto our right side. And we'll come up into a comfortable seat. And we'll bring our hands to prayer at the center of the chest. And we tuck the chin in, bowing the intellect to the intuition. Grateful for this new day, its beauty and its light, and a chance to begin again. May we all be freed from yesterday's limitations, and today may we be reborn. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. From my heart to yours, namaste. And whoop.